9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling. Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today. And also, let's go ahead and unmute ourselves. Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome to WWT Live, the Monday edition. My name is TK Trinidad. We're going to go through all the news and all the great stuff as we are going to change some things up. All right, here we go. So just so you guys know, super chats are open. So for $5 or more or $2 or more, you can let us know. Ask any questions that you want, as far as if you want to ask what happened with redemption or that good stuff. We have some big news coming as well that I'm going to be sharing with you during the course of this show. And also, SummerSlam is coming up. If you guys are wondering, like, hey, I don't have the ESPN app. I don't have no money to give ESPN. Go ahead and get yourself that NordVPN. Put the code WWT in there and get 77% off, so you can watch it from anywhere in the world while you're in the comfort of your own home. So let's get into it, y'all. It was a big weekend. A lot of good things that are happening right now. So Lola Vice. So apparently, according to Brian Alvarez, from Wrestling Observer, it's shown that Lola Vice, she will be heading up to SmackDown. Now, the interesting thing with that is that she lost the tag team, the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship on Saturday. And so, usually when something like that happens, it's just like, okay, people are dropping, hey, Isaac, yes, happy birthday, Triple H, and happy birthday. I didn't know Triple H was a Leo. That makes a lot of sense. So yes, what we're talking about is Lola Vice. So the rumor is that she's going to be heading up to the main roster, which makes a lot of sense. She just dropped the mixed tag team, the AAA mixed tag team titles over the weekend. The bigger question is, do we see a place for her on the main roster? And then also too, I mean, I'm sure they're all thinking about it, and you can't really, what's the better thing? So we have a lot of pregnant people out. That's what I'm going to say. We have a lot of pregnant people out, and you can't really plan for them, but I'm thinking about them, meaning that, we are adding a lot of people to the roster. So we have, say Lola Vice does come. She doesn't come this during for SummerSlam. She's eventually going to come up. But we also have people returning. And how does that look for the women's roster, especially when it seems like at times they're not utilizing everybody? I mean, we just had a lot of releases, and one of the reasons is because they weren't being utilized. So I'm really wondering how this is going to all play out. I definitely see a place for Lola. Now, whether they use her or not, that's a whole another question. So we'll see how it goes. I hope she does make a big enough impact. If she does come, it says, according to Brian Alvarez, it's going to be for SmackDown. But also we're heading into SummerSlam, so I feel like if you have her coming into SmackDown this week, allegedly, then she should be doing something for SummerSlam, right? That makes sense. But who knows? So let's also get into what's happening in the Raw before SummerSlam. So this is for you, Dylan. All right, so we have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins come face to face one last time before SummerSlam. So that's going to be happening tonight. The World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins will come face to face for the last time on Raw before their highly anticipated title fight at SummerSlam. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Then we also have Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. They take part in a weigh-in. This, I already know this is going to end in shenanigans. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce has ordered a weigh-in. Why are we doing this? Why can't we just keep these men separated? But whatever. Has ordered a weigh-in between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, an event that will be moderated by Triple H, en route to the Hell in a Cell match, pitting the ruler against the beast at the biggest event of the summer. I mean, if they come and they weigh and they sign the paperwork and they walk off, we know that's not going to happen. Something's going to happen. And it's going to be big because these are two big boys. Then we have the Alpha Academy look for payback on the Vision. The World Tag Team Championship may not be on the line, but plenty of pride will be when Alpha Academy go head to head with Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. So this is also happening. Which again, where do you guys see as far as the tag teams? Because it's always kind of been very shaky as far as tag teams are concerned. But you know, this might be something. This is actually a little bit more matches than usual for Raw, which is good. Then we have Sol Ruca. She's set to defend the Women's Intercontinental title against Raquel Rodriguez. So Ruka will be ready for a slugfest when she puts her Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line against Raquel Rodriguez. This is going to be interesting too, because Raquel has been in the picture she should have been in the picture, I should say, for a while. So this might be leading up to something. Then we have, I can tell Ronnie's saying, I can tell Triple H has hands on Obafemi's. Oh, of course. I mean, but also too, Oba has he's the full package. And also, let's be clear, with Brock Lesnar, you know, there's only a certain amount of time that's left for him. You know, it's like eventually everybody, you know, gets their body just is like it's time to go. So then we have Joe Hendry and Danhausen hold a concert. Joe Henry is looking to treat the WWE Universe to a concert with special guest Danhausen. So that's also happening as well. That's going to be very interesting. Javon Evans takes on Rusev. So after the mighty Rusev eliminated him during an Intercontinental Championship #1 contender gauntlet match on Raw 2 weeks ago, Javon Evans is looking to get bouncy against the Bulgarian Brute. So that's also happening as well. And Rey Mysterio will once again take on Ethan Page. So this is happening. Whether he's mixing it up on Raw or serving as the Triple F general manager, Rey Mysterio remains a force to be reckoned with. And so this should be, I mean, there's a little bit of a storyline there, but what we can definitely guarantee is going to be an amazing match. Anytime Rey Mysterio is involved, it's going to be an amazing match. I actually meant to pull this graphic, so we'll see we'll see if I'm able to do that. But let's also talk about SummerSlam. Did I pull this? I think I did. Here we go. So they just released. Here we go. They just released the match card for SummerSlam. This is going to be the first year that it's going to be 2 nights. Which is going to be very, 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 very interesting. So like I said, y'all, at the top of the show, we will be having a watch along. So just FYI, if you're like, you know, how am I going to watch this? I don't even know where to find the ESPN app, all that good stuff. Go and get yourself a NordVPN. go and put the code WWT in there. You get 77% off, and then you can watch essentially all WWE products internationally. That makes sense. So, for instance, first, I have to walk quite a few people in there. So, if you're in the US, go and get yourself a NordVPN. Set your settings to Australia or Canada or the UK, somewhere outside of the US. And then, if you have a Netflix account, which I feel like everybody should, if you have a Netflix account, then you can go ahead and watch WWE internationally on that Netflix account from the privacy of your own home. So, we have SummerSlam, which is going to be happening. Excuse me. It's going to be everywhere on the app starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. So these are the Saturday matches. So we have the undisputed WWE, and we will do predictions on Friday. So I'm just going to run through it. If there's a match that you guys want to talk about in particular, let me know. But for Saturday, and everything's also subject to change because nothing's ever set in stone. So the Saturday matches. So we have the undisputed WWE Championship match, CM Punk, who's the champion, versus Cody Rhodes. Then we have the Hell in the Cell, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, which I think when it's happening for the third time, when people first are talking about it, it's like, I don't know. But this match is going to be, it's going to be different. And we're also with the weigh-in today, we're going to see how it happens. Then we also have the women's world championship match, Liv Morgan, who's a champion, against Io Sky. We have Gunther versus Nick Aldis, which is also going to be a good match, good storytelling match, I should say. Then we have the 6-man tag team match, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and the Usos, which is interesting in a couple ways. But, we'll see if it all comes back to the bloodline in some sort of way. It is kind of, but not really. Then we have the 6-women tag team match, the Bella Twins and Paige versus Fatal Attraction. And I believe the councilman had mentioned this before it was even announced. So this kind of makes sense, but we'll see how this all plays out. So this is Saturday. Then we have the Sunday matches. So we have the world. I can't believe that they're doing Brock and Oba on Saturday. I'm sure there's a reason for it. So then we have the Sunday matches. So we have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Roman Reigns champion versus Seth Rollins. The interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match, which is Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green versus ? Let me know who y'all think is going to be that question mark. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship match, Penta champion versus Chad Gable, which congratulations to him being in the picture, because I know when everything kind of the story kind of finished in Triple Out, we are just wondering okay, well, what's next? So, being in SummerSlam is good. So means that he's on somebody's radar, or it could just be look, we're doing you a solid. We'll see how it all plays out after SummerSlam. Then we have United States Championship match, Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin. Then we have the undisputed WWE women. We have the undisputed WWE Championship #1 contender match, Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor, and then we have Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. So that is everything that is going to be happening for SummerSlam, which is happening this Saturday and Sunday. We will be having a watch along and post show for it. This weekend is going to be kind of crazy. So that is all happening for SummerSlam. Then actually AEW put out this press release earlier today. Let me find the graphic for y'all. Because there's a lot of things that I'm happy AEW is doing this. All right, so AEW, so they have a special Rebel Heart AEW Dynamite episode that has been announced. That actually dropped today. They actually put out the press release. So in May, let's get it over here so you're not looking at my neck all the time. Oh, where did it go? Oh, 1 second, y'all. I'm really happy that they're actually going to be doing this. But they've always kind of been on that vibe of supporting community and stuff like that. And the direction that AEW is going, opposed to WWE in a certain way, speaks volumes. So let me make sure that this graphic's up here. All right, here we go. All right, boom, here we go. So special Rebel Heart AEW episode has been announced. So in May, and this is according to AEW. In May, AEW's Rebel made the announcement that she's been diagnosed with terminal ALS. She is putting out videos. They've been doing challenges, all that good stuff. And so since then, there's been a huge outpouring in support of her, which is amazing. So as of today, AEW, IMLS, and Team Gelson, today announced the very special AEW Rebel Heart Dynamite. And it'll take place on Wednesday, September 9th, live from the Aikens Ford Arena in Athens, Georgia. So this event will air live on TBS and stream on HBO Max. So AEW Rebel Heart Dynamite will honor one of the original members of AEW roster. And I actually kind of almost forgot about that part. Known to fans around the world as Rebel, who's diagnosed with ALS in March 2026. As part of the event, Rebel is scheduled to make a special appearance that evening, and fans in attendance will receive a special limited edition Rebel trading card sheet from Upper Deck while supplies last. Donations will be made from AEW Rebel Heart Dynamite to benefit IMALS, the leading community movement dedicated to ending ALS by empowering patients and caregivers to secure billions in federal funding, improve care, treatment access, and drive research. So all that is happening September 9th. So definitely, if you haven't been supporting, definitely go and support. I really love, I mean, it's sad that Rebel has ALS, but bringing attention to this is a good thing. So definitely go and support that, and good on AEW for doing that as well. If you are wondering about AEW Redemption, we had a whole watch along and post show that happened yesterday with Courtney, so you can check that out. I am so proud. I think I saw the graphic on social media, which I meant to pull, but I forgot. It's not, how do I put this being politically correct? It's not lost upon me who the women champions are for AEW. And if you know, you know. So I'm going to leave it like that, and we'll probably do an article about it as well. There's one thing I'm trying to debate which way I would go. So let's talk about this trademark. So WWE filed a trademark. Let's find the graphic for it. There we go. So WWE filed a trademark. It kind of came down, I think, earlier today as well. And usually when WWE files trademarks, you're like, okay, what's going on? What's going on here? So they filed a trademark for Cruz Montana. And so, and I wonder how that works. Like I spoke to quite a few people, and they like kind of pick their name. And does WWE just then go and trademark it? Which seems like, okay, we own you, but it is what it is. So former TNA and AEW star Mike Santana has confirmed via Mike Santana on X that his full new ring name will be WWE NXT. In WWE NXT is Cruz Montana. So he dropped that. So the file was, or the trademark was, I mean, I guess it might have been filed on Friday or Monday. I don't know how, quickly it happens. And then he dropped the video saying that is going to be his name. So I'm happy for him, and I'm really kind of eager to see how this is going to play out. In particular for NXT. I think this is going to be, when they have people who've been in the game for so long, the wrestling is not in question. It's going to be the storyline, and that's not Cruz's. That would just be how the writers do it. But I'm hoping they're going to do him justice. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to see what happens with that. And then also, since we are talking WWE and all things WWE at the moment, let's talk about Club WWE, which kind of reminds me of Club Shay Shay. I don't know. It just feels like that. So again, WWE released a lot of press releases came out today. So WWE today announced the official launch of Club WWE, the ultimate membership program designed to bring fans closer to WWE than ever before through exclusive access, rewards, premium content, and unforgettable experiences, which to me reminds me of, you remember when WWE had that app? I think it was like $9.99, and it was like the whole collection, all this other stuff. They didn't have, as far as I can remember, they didn't have the ability or the exclusive of like, you can earn points and do all this other stuff. But it feels like they're going back to the app, because there's a lot of things that you can get from other places that I feel eventually is going to just land on this Club WWE, where you're going to just pay one price, and the price is $99 for the year, $8.50 per month. So you could pay the one or the two prices, and you can go from there. So I'm going to read on, because the thing is, it just seems like it's becoming more of a monopoly where, certain things that we're used to, like for instance, they didn't really make a big announcement, but I'm going to be curious if you can watch, if they're going to be able to do watch parties at, restaurants and stuff like that, if that's going to be a thing within that state or that city that they're in. So available from Friday, Club WWE serves as the home for WWE's most passionate fans, bringing them together through ticketing, merchandise, community rewards, and exclusive content in one destination, and then international. So it's primarily in the US at the moment. And so quote has been made: as we continue to evolve the WWE fan experience, Club WWE creates a year-round destination that rewards our most passionate fans. And this was from John Cena, whether it's exclusive content, early access to tickets and merchandises, or connecting with the WWE universe while watching our biggest events. So I might make an investment for this. For y'all who are like in the podcasting space, just go ahead and do that and just write that off as a business expense. Just saying. Because I'm really curious on, the watch alongs, how they're going to do that. So Club WWE aims to be something addictive to fan experience across the world. So it includes premium welcome kit available for limited time to the first fans to sign up as founding members. Members only WWE shop featuring exclusive merchandise, including the newly announced Never Seen 17 collection. Early access to tickets for select WWE events, along with access to member-only lounges at select premium live events and premium live events, and it says live events again. Premium content library, and this is the part that's interesting to me. Premium content library featuring iconic matches from WWE archives, which I feel like some of this is split between Netflix and Peacock, but we're gonna see how long that contract lasts. Because why go through a third party when there's so many hands that money's going through, when you can just funnel everything to one thing instead of so many different channels? But we'll see. WWE archives, behind the scenes content, exclusive interviews, and brand new original program, which I wonder how, because some of the behind the scenes content we see on social media, we see on YouTube. I wonder if, again, with that, if you're going to have to, Triple A is going to be funneled through that. I wonder how all that's going to work. And then also WWE Radio, which was announced on Friday. I wonder if that's all going to fold under the Club WWE, which makes sense. Funnel everybody through that, but I'm not the big dog. So then you have live match chats, giving fans a dedicated second screen experience during WWE programming. Club WWE Rewards, allowing members to earn points through purchases as well as by logging in, watching content, participating in live chats, and playing games. So Club WWE builds on WWE's commitment to creating deeper connection with fans by rewarding engagement both inside and outside the ring. So, like I said, for the folks who are in the US, the annual price is $99 for the year, or $825 for the month, which is not that bad given everything that is they're offering. So we shall see with that. Like I said, I find this really, I'm wondering how this is on the business side of things. I'm wondering how this is all going to kind of like play out, meaning that you know, you're able to find WWE in so many different places, right? So if you're in US, they have the deal with ESPN. You can also see Evolve on Tubi. You see Triple on YouTube. Then you have Peacock as well. So you have those deals kind of going on. And then obviously the big Netflix deal if you're international. So all those deals are kind of going on. And then they just announced the radio with SiriusXM. So it just feels like, and the reason I say this is because the next story, I'm actually going to talk about this story next, because this is something that I've kind of alluded to, and it's actually happening right now. Oh, whoops. Trying to find the graphic here. YouTube and Peacock. So I think I said this. I think I said this maybe last week or the week before. That we're gonna see where the landscape of, you know, the Hulus, the Netflix, the apps of it all is going to change a lot. Meaning that a lot of them are going to start collapsing on each other. One, I think as a society, we don't have money to be giving $9.99 to everybody. It's just not a thing. So I think a lot of places, I mean, you've seen big companies start with an app, and then, you know, I think CNN started with one and it closed down in like months. It's just not sustainable right now. So we saw, I'm pulling up the article now so I can get the full details for you. But it happened on Variety. And so Peacock will be bundled with YouTube Premium starting in early 2027, which I can't believe we're like about to approach. We're in 2026, making the NBC streamer's biggest wholesale distribution deal to date. So the bundle will be in addition to alongside the existing YouTube Premium plan, which costs $15.99 a month and includes ad-free YouTube background play, offline downloads. So all of that is happening in 2027, which has been predicted. Hey, Lynette, how are you doing? So Ruka is going to be on SmackDown, and Damian Priest is going to be on Triple. Yeah, a triple. We've been missing the last couple of shows, so we're going to do a makeup. Also, we're going to be doing Unreal, a watch along today as well. So check that out. And we just launched WWT 24/7, where you can watch a lot of our interviews from 2017 up to now on rotation. So if you need some background noise, check out WWT 24/7. So like I said last week, and what's things are going to get more simplified, and there's going to be less options in a good and or bad way, meaning that YouTube is becoming a real juggernaut in just everything. I mean, I just said it, you know, we were able to do a 24/7 channel for WWT, which would have been unheard of. One, we didn't have enough content, but now we do, which would have been unheard of years ago. And the fact that you're able to kind of create your own brand and channel for essentially free as a content creator is one thing, but it's all housed under YouTube, right? And I think YouTube kind of there's a certain it makes more sense to partner with networks right now versus because the whole thing at the end of the day, and I'll give you an example as far as WWT. We couldn't go 24/7 if we were only doing one podcast or one episode per week for 2 years. It's no way. But we have 400 plus interviews, right? And we only did a tenth of those interviews on a loop for people to enjoy them 24/7. And that's just the interviews. That's not the watch alongs. That's not the post shows. That's not original content. It's none of that. So we will be doing our original content one eventually as well. So I think with these networks that they're going to start collapsing onto each other in a good way. It's either you partner with somebody or you die, essentially. And I think a lot of these companies are wanting to, be on the journey for a long time. Yeah, right. Thanks, Lynette. Yeah, the interview with Trin, she's just amazing. I there's like so many stories. Maybe one day I'll do kind of like the stories the behind the scenes stories, because there's so many of them that I would love to tell. But yeah, there's so many interviews for that. So definitely check out WWT 24/7. So at the end of the day, I think that this is going to be a good deal. Now, the funny thing is we announced the merger with WWE Radio and Busted Open. And in the same time, Thunder Rosa announced that she's no longer with Busted Open or WWE Radio. There are people who are affiliated with AEW that are no longer affiliated with WWE Radio because obvious. And it's so funny because this was a story that I actually saw before we went on air, so I didn't get to pull the graphic. But this story kind of came from the Scrum, the AEW Redemption Scrum. So Tony Khan was asked whether WWE's takeover of SiriusXM wrestling program had sped up the plans of an AEW podcast network. So his answer, which it's giving camps, meaning two camps, one or the other, and I don't necessarily know if both are going to survive. But so Tony Khan's his answer was simple. Those plans have been in motion for a long time, and they're still moving full speed ahead. So he said, we've been working on it. We're still playing on an AEW podcast network with our friends, so it's coming. So he made it clear it isn't a new idea born out of WWE Radio, according to AEW president. The project has been quietly developing behind the scenes for quite some time, and he expects it to become a major part of the company's future media strategy. He says, and this is according to Ringside News. So it's been in the works for quite a while, and it's still in the works. It's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to an AEW podcast network, and we've been planning for it for a while, so it's going to be excellent. The timing couldn't be more interesting. Khan's comments come just days after WWE launches their WWE Radio with SiriusXM. All very interesting stuff because I feel like Busted Open sans WWE Radio was perfect because it covered all things wrestling. Now it's WWE Radio, and obviously it's just going to cover WWE products, maybe AAA products, anything that has to do with AAA approved kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's on the business side of it. I'm wondering how this is all going to kind of play out, because it's not easy to run multiple products. So you have WWE and all their platforms, right? So they have WWE, SmackDown, Raw, Evolve, AAA, and then under like a subsect, you have kind of TNA with the TKO Evolve type thing. And then you add the radio, and then you add Club WWE. So it's creating its own ecosystem, which is great. And it's no different than apps. The game plan for YouTube Shorts or Instagram or TikTok is to keep you on the app for as long as possible. That's the reason we have doom scrolling. You look down and you're scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and you look up, it's 3 hours later. That's what they want. And I think that's what WWE is trying to do with Club WWE. And then also folding it into the radio aspect of it. So I think that it's going to be different. And if you're a lover of AEW, and the thing with AEW, it's a little bit more Forbidden Doors, so it's not going to be all things AEW. I really hope that AEW does do. I wouldn't mind, and I've been talking about this for a long time, and I know they do have the app, so I have to cross-reference and make sure, double check. But however, let me know in the chat. However, I wouldn't mind if AEW did this exact same thing as WWE. If they didn't do it already. So just AEW Club, now you can find ROH, now you can find all the things, and then also fold in the AEW radio into that. That would be great. And then it's just a matter of instead of paying for all those pay-per-views, if you're now paying $9.99 a month, which I think the app is, and then you pay $9.99 to WWE, that is more feasible for wrestling fans. And then it's more about which one are you gonna spend more time on. Like oftentimes for my folks who have like, Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, it's just kind of like, okay, you have Netflix, you might spend more time on Netflix, but sometimes on Hulu, like, you can't spend it everywhere, but you still give the money. So I think that's what both parties want. However, we'll see. Lynette, TK, they give the women of WWE more time on TV than the men, and it's what Mr. Will, Mr. Yeah, I hope they definitely do that. Become champ is going to have to. Oh, you think Raquel's gonna okay for Raw? I don't know if that's gonna happen before SummerSlam. That's kind of a tough one. I don't know if that will happen, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, we did the Raw preview. So this, Dylan, just in case you're wondering about that, we talked about the WWE trademark, and we talked about radio as well, because I blame Liv Morgan for what she did last week. Man, Liv be getting shots all the time, whether she's doing great, doing bad, or doing well. She just be taking all the hits. All right, so this last story, I was kind of saving the Peacock one to be the last story, but it kind of just, this one made more sense to talk about. So this is the last story. I didn't want it to be the last story, but it just happened to be the last story. I do see La Primera coming back at SummerSlam. Oh, yeah. See, and I was talking about that too. At the beginning of the show, Lynette, I was saying how Lola Vice, there's rumors that Lola Vice is going to be in SmackDown, allegedly. And you have so many women, which is a great thing. And it's not the problem that we have so many women. The problem is having storylines for so many women. So meaning that if we have 30 women, because typically it's like 20 to 30 to like 80 men. That's what it's been. I haven't done a count in a while, but that's the last time I did a count. That's what it was. So you have so many women, and it's not through any fault of their own. It's just kind of creating the storylines within the time that you have to cover the whole show. So if you have La Primera coming back, you have Lola Vice. We have, Bianca and Naomi eventually coming back. I'm wondering how it's all going to play out as far as story wise. So yes, I want everybody, like, Raquel, for instance, if she becomes champion tonight, then what? And sometimes I just don't have faith in the writers to see it through. And that's according to me. So it's just kind of like, sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. And to preface that, I'm very well aware, and have always given WWE and AEW, especially any programming that goes year round, you're not always going to get it right. And you're not always going to satisfy everybody. Because there's a lot of people satisfy, if you're doing something year round, multiple shows every week. It's impossible. So, being this talking head that I am, I'm just talking about it. And am I going to, be severely upset? No, because it's television. And I enjoy the entertainment. Kalani Jordan could be, ooh. Yeah, but then where are we going to put, not where are we going to put all of them, where are the storylines? I think this might happen behind the scenes, and I can't wait to watch Unreal later on today. Today we are going to be having a watch along for Unreal. Me and Christina are back. The weekend crew is on Monday. I can't wait to see that, because it's like we want these people to come up, but if we don't have something for them to do, that's the reason a lot of people got let go. Then what happens? So I want these people to, I almost rather people stay in NXT and evolve, where there's a storyline for them until there's a concrete storyline for them for the main roster, opposed to bringing them up and they're like, all right, well, now what? And, we don't see La Primera for months on end. Yeah. So do you want Judgment Day to be over? Because this is what I sense. Because once Raquel turns on Liv, Judgment Day is pretty much, it seems like it's no longer a thing. And I'm here for a good faction. So I don't want, for instance, the Bloodline, I wanted to keep on going, but that's just personal preference. So last story for today, which ironically is not a wrestling story. And then Roxanne Perez is gonna leave soon, and that's what people. Yeah, but then what happens then? Because the thing is, here's the thing. This is what the thing I love about factions, right? Factions give more people airtime. So Judgment Day, opposed to just having one person, you had 6 people at one time, 4 people, whatever. You had more people being on our TV screen. That's what factions do. I want people to work. I don't want people, because we already see it. If you sit in catering too long, you ain't gonna be. It's gone. It seems like gone are the days where you can sit in catering for a year and you're Gucci. Those days seem to be gone. WWE or Endeavor or TKO is like, oh, you've been in catering for 6 months. We don't need you. So I want everybody to eat. So that's another reason why, I'm for factions. So this next story, this is gonna be the last story for today. We just had, and it happens every year. I always forget to apply to Comic-Con, and I really should be going. But Ronda Rousey, so she's saying MMA is just becoming background noise on every weekend. It needs to be a huge event, which is kind of funny because she is right. Because and it could also be an algorithm thing for me. But there was a time where I would know, what was happening, or at least what matches were happening, and it's not hitting my algorithm at all. I don't even know who the women's champion is anymore. Ronda Rousey, well, she just had that pay-per-view with MVP, where she had a match with Gina Carano, which was good. It actually is one of our highest rating watch-alongs, ironically. But I know she's been doing writing. If you watch I think the series was on YouTube, where it was almost like a 24/7 leading up to her match. She's living her best life. She made enough money, and her and her husband have a farm. I think they have either 2 or 3 kids. She wrote what's it called? She wrote a book, but it's like a comic book or some sort. So she's doing a lot of different things. So she's good. I think, well, I was at one point wanting her to come back to wrestling, and she does. It definitely be on the AEW side. I think her and WWE are not ever going to be a thing. So she just made a comment about UFC, and she was on, and she doesn't do too many podcasts. So shout out to what podcast was it? I was reading it today. Just had it here. I think it's Napa Valley. Oh, here we go. Napa Knockout. So shout out to this podcast. So she said, we'll see. We need to reconvene. as far as her doing another match. We need to reconvene and see what the future looks like. I think everybody is just kind of decompressing and getting back to post their huge event, Fight Life. And I think what I hope they do in the future, whether it's with me or not, is that they continue to make their fights a huge event, which MVP has definitely doing in both the boxing and MMA spaces. But they're doing a combination of, you know, big name, never before, or, you know, legends against rookies type thing. And it's going to be interesting on how they're going to sustain that model. So yeah, it'll be the landscape of wrestling and UFC in particular in the next 5 to 10 years, more like 5, especially now we're adding, because I think I saw a story on Friday where WWE is like, no, we're gonna still continue using AI. It's not funny, but it's funny. So the landscape of all of that in the next 5 years, not even 10, is going to be very, 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 very interesting. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how that all kind of goes, especially boxing. But you know, you have something like boxing. It was really popular, and then it kind of, you know, died down. Then you had Mayweather. You know, be the face of boxing for a long time. Then he retired, and then, you know, it's still kicking around now. Whether these boxers are making crazy money, I don't know. I don't think so. But it is what it is. So with that being said, we have so many things. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you check out WWT Live. WWT 24/7. So you head over to our YouTube page. You'll also be on our website shortly. My dog's like, she's ready to eat. Make sure you can check out WWT 24/7, where you can see all our interviews. Not all. Majority of our interviews over the last couple of years with some big names such as Trinity, Gail Kim, Becky's on there as well, Bailey, so many different people. So you can see our interviews there. Also, if you guys are familiar with like the old school WWT from back in the day, how we first started, we used to do interviews every week. That was like a thing. We're bringing that back in August. We're going to be dropping interviews every single week, every Tuesday. That's happening. And then also NXT is going to be our watch along and post show is going to be happening too. So many things. So definitely keep it locked for that as well. Special presentation. We're going to be doing an Unreal watch along today, starting at 6 p.m., which will be 9 o'clock on the East Coast. So many things that are happening for WWT that you definitely want to keep it locked for that. My name is TK Trinidad. You can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. And follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms. Definitely go and check out our website, www.talkpod.com. We have articles dropping almost every single day. So definitely check out that. Our website will tell you everything you need to know for Women's Wrestling Talk. So many things are dropping. Really happy for y'all joining me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.